big win for the 49ers in my estimation. And they defeat the Saints 13-0. First shutout since 2019. It's been a while. Like, what was your big takeaway from this win? Like, and what really stuck out to you?
I think a lot of people want to have these big wins against teams that they feel are inferior to the 49ers. But I would argue, like you had previously mentioned, this feels like one of the bigger wins for the 49ers because good teams find ways to win games. Bad teams find ways to lose games. And when things don't go to plan as usual with the NFL, you have to give the Saints a ton of credit. I truly believe that their effort was not only have game plan because they had a great game plan. They were rushing 4 and dropping 7 and just saying, you know what, we're gonna make sure we're gonna make sure we get pressure, and they did with 4 because Marcus Davenport and Cameron Jordan are so good, but now beat us through the air. But the 49ers found a way to grit out a win and scratch and claw, and that's what you're gonna see going forward, especially in the playoffs. When the competition rises. So for me, the good teams find ways to win games. The bad teams find those ways to make excuses for why they lost those games. This team went out there and they put up 13 points. I don't care about how many points they put up per week, as long as the amount of points they put up are more than their opponent. And I think that a lot of people have kind of lost sight of that in this way. There's nothing wrong with saying the New Orleans Saints played very well. Bottom line, I think that's the hardest part for 49ers fans to actually admit. The New Orleans Saints played very well on defense, and they had a good game plan. Sure, the 49ers could have executed better, and I'm sure we'll talk about that down the line. But for me, it's much better to look at a win like this when you're not playing your best and when things aren't going the way that you think they will, and you have all these injuries mounting up like during this game, to find a way to win as opposed to making excuses for, well, we were injured, we had penalties, we had executions, and end up with a loss.
Yeah. And I think, honestly, that this is a game that we might have looked at in years past, and 49ers might not have won this type of game in the past. And I think that just to your point, something that people are missing is that the Saints defense isn't bad. It's just the Saints offense really that's bad. And the defense has kind of been carrying them for a lot of the season. And not that their record is obviously they're not doing well, but the reality is it's definitely not the defense's fault. They're on their backup quarterback, and I know Andy Dalton has been a starter in this league, but the reality is he's not a starting caliber quarterback now. And it was to your point. They had a great defensive game plan. They were able to get pressure with 4. And if you are able to get pressure with 4, why there was no need to blitz with a guy like Jimmy Garoppolo back there. That's what you want, as many guys out in coverage as possible. Because why give him anything? Just get rid of all the holes in the defense. And it's just I thought that it was a really good a good testament to the Niners' ability to come through in moments like that. And another thing about it is, they were on a short week. They had to travel from Mexico. It's in the last year when they had the short week, what happened? They lost to the Texans or to the Titans. So I mean, that speaks again that last year they might not have won a game like this, but I feel like D'Amico just came through with the game plan. You saw how excited he was on the sideline, and it was just, he's so proud of those guys. I think we all were, but yeah, that's how I kind of felt about that game. But